Guitar Speak Podcast, Quick Picks.
Hey everyone, Matt Wakeling here and welcome to Guitar Speak Podcast Quick Picks. This is a spin-off to our usual interview show. In Quick Picks, I review some new music, gear, gigs, anything guitar related. Now on today's Quick Picks, I'm looking at the latest Joe Satriani album, Shapeshifting. This is Satriani's 17th studio album, and he co-produced the album with Foo Fighters and Tom Petty producer Jim Scott. As the album title suggests, Shapeshifting, this record finds Satriani in a variety of musical situations. In fact, I think this could be his most eclectic album since The Extremist. Now, there are some great Satch rockers on their tracks like 1980, which is kind of a love letter to Eddie Van Halen, the title track, and Big Distortion, which has got to be the greatest name for an instrumental track. And that tune is just unabashed power pop, signalling back to Satriani's time in the Squares. Now, in these big rockers, there is some beautiful passages of that classic Satriani legato and crazy whammy bar stuff. But really it is dialed down for some just really interesting and new phrasing from Satriani. And in some of the tunes there are just these big power chord sections, almost Foo Fighter-ish in approach, marking kind of a shift in the Satriani recipe we all know and love. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. In fact, I really enjoyed this album because I got to hear Satriani just in a slightly different guise. Eric Cordo appears on the album doing some synth stuff and sound design, and he was very instrumental in Satriani's Grammy-nominated album Engines of Creation, that electro kind of record. So Cordo definitely brings some trippy elements to the record. One of my favourite tracks is called Falling Stars. It's very trippy, very gritty, and finds Satriani employing a beautiful octave up effect on there, which he's been a big octave guy for a long time now, so invoking a little bit of that Hendrix vibe. Love that track. Now the rhythm section of Kenny Aronoff, drummer from John Cougar, Megadeth and many other sessions, and Chris Chaney, bassist from Jane's Addiction. They're a great rhythm section, and they get a couple of moments to shine, but I can't help feeling like maybe a lot of other Satriani albums, their role is pretty restrained. I would have loved to see them loosen up just a little bit. If you ever see Satriani live, the rhythm section just opens up just a bit, and I kind of dig that. That said, there's such a variety of tunes on the album. So Hear the Blue River is a very cool reggae vibe. Teardrops is a beautiful ballad. And the final track, Yesterday's Yesterday, is just a really sweet folksy tune. Satriani picks up a banjo in that tune. I wonder if it's one of his 6-string Deerings. And the special guest on there, Christopher Guest. That's right, Nigel Tufnell from Spinal Tap. And if you've seen him in A Mighty Wind, you'll know what a great stringed instrument player Christopher Guest is. So he makes an appearance. Now, Satriani actually appeared on Spinal Tap's Break Like the Wind album from, I think, around 1990. So nice for Guest to return the favour. Now, this record for me, it needed a few listens for it to grow on me, and I think that's a good thing. Some albums are really immediate. Others need a little bit of time and a few listens to start getting a sense for the nuances, and I appreciated that on this record. So Shapeshifter, the new record from Joe Satriani, highly recommended for fans of Satriani who want to hear Joe exploring some new territory. Check it out. All right, hope you enjoyed our Quick Picks number 2 here. Now on the show, we've got interviews coming up with Eric Peterson from Testament, Gil Paris, New York jazz fusion blues legend that he is, Alice Cooper Band's Ryan Roxy, and my NAMM New Gear look back with Michael Ross from Premier Guitar and Gavin Moore from Coke Guitars. So subscribe to the Guitar Speak podcast, and we'll catch you next time.
Guitar Speak Podcast, Quick Picks.